This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Sweep the rack, sweep the rack, sweep the rack. I literally am going to be just doing that for 6 hours. Sweep the rack. This is rude.
I was when they were re-racking, somebody said to me, "Yo, you ought to tell them Chance sweep the rack." I was like, "Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty clever during a re-rack, you know." But we'll discuss later. I disagree. Everybody chill. That's what I'm going to say. Everybody chill. Okay.
Sunday night, we are live. Sunday night, we are live. I'm just going to chant that for 6 hours.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't really consider what it must have been like to watch all those shows on TV because I was sort of like in and out. Like
Right.
I was in, but then I would bounce out, and then I would be back in again and bounce out. So, yeah, we'll
talk a little bit
stuff.
because I had only one of the chants actually made me laugh. The others, it was just kind of annoying to me. But we'll talk about when we get into the tour finals. We got a few other things to go through first. You got to talk about. I know you're starting league tomorrow, right? I bowled this past week. I've got to talk about the little tournament gem that I found in my area, and then we're gonna have actually Theo come on from the Complete Bowling events. So he's gonna be popping on to talk about the 10K tournament that he's running in the end of June. So we always want to give support to the local big tournaments, I call it, right? So. Yeah, we got a little bit to talk about before we get into sweep the rack, sweep the rack, sweep the rack. This is great. I'm talking on a microphone. Literally 6 hours of that. Anyway, all right, Mike.
House League.
You starting tomorrow
night, baby. Tomorrow night.
So that's a full? Is that a summer league?
50 teams.
Summer league. So okay, let's play a game. Me and you. We're gonna bet over and under an average for your house league. Okay. So it's what is it? A 4-man team?
3-man team.
It's a 3-man team. That's on a house. That's juicy, Mike. That's juicy. The score that makes it score higher. Okay, tell me about the house. Where are you bowling? How the score is there? How's the house shot?
AMF Strathmore Lanes. Well, Bowlero Strathmore now.
Great.
Older AMF surface.
Okay.
Hooks a lot. I feel like. I mean,
okay.
My experience there. Approaches tend to be extremely slippery.
Okay.
They're old wood approaches. They tend to be dusty and slippery because they're dirty. The pattern is Stone Street. It's a house pattern pretty much, but it is like a Kegel pattern. At least that's the last I had heard is that their house shot at this place is Stone Street.
Okay.
So yeah, like that's
all right.
That's about the.
I have a number in my mind.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say 223 is what you're going to average on the house.
If I don't go over that, I should just quit.
Oh, so I'm low. I went low on you.
I feel like that's low.
So okay, so what do you feel like you can average?
I feel like 228.
Okay,
might be a more fair number.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I expect to go in and whack them.
Okay,
I truly believe that, it might take me a week or two to figure out what ball I need to use and how I need to play them. So maybe the first 2 weeks I don't have high expectations, but I do have high expectations that I will figure them out and figure out how to strike.
Okay, so, I do expect at least one honor score. How many weeks is it?
I'm not sure how many weeks the league is.
Okay, so figure about 12 weeks usually for summer league,
Okay.
right? I
Yeah, I
expect
feel
one honor
like
score from you.
that's such a crapshoot because there's carry involved. I mean, I could have weeks where I don't, I leave nothing less than 9 for 3 games, but I leave 3 9 counts a game, and now you're shooting probably 720 instead of 820. So
Okay, so all right, so we'll say around I'll say 223. You say around 228. I'll be interested uh, to follow up here every week and talk to you about the house and like what's going on there. But I think it's still funny that you're bowling a house league. It's everything you stand against.
it is.
It's literally like the opposite of Big Mike. It's like small Mike.
It is. I
It's
know,
like
but again,
I know
so that
why you're doing
everybody's clear, okay? So that everybody's clear and people aren't out there, putting out false info, okay? The reason I am bowling this league is because I have a friend. Shout to my boy GQ. Um,
okay.
I have a friend who's into bowling, and he's more at a beginner's level. He's only been bowling regularly for a few years, a handful of years. He does not want to bowl singles, and all the sports stuff during the summer is singles. He does not want to bowl sport. He's not ready to bowl sport. It would be too much above his level. So we wanted to bowl together, and we make it a social thing. Like we get together for dinner the nights that we're going to bowl. And again, I'm not
House
bowling
Mouse
every
Mike.
week. Yeah,
I love it.
Now
I love the
I'm
names
not
are
the
coming
enemy
in.
of fun anymore. I'm the purveyor of fun now. Look at this. I'm the purveyor of fun. I'm not the enemy of fun anymore. I guess maybe I should get a T-shirt that says "Striking during the summers for striking." The summers for striking.
Summers for striking, and fall is for misery, pain, and depression.
Yes, exactly.
That's usually what it is on a sport, especially if you bowl Theo's tournaments, which I see in the chat there. Misery, pain, and depression for 8 games.
Just understand why I'm bowling, and I bowled a sport league last summer, because my buddy was going on a couple vacations and doing some travel, and so it wasn't going to work out. And we're actually bowling, again, so that I'm clear, we're bowling with a 4-person roster, even though it's a 3-person league. So there's going to be a lot of weeks where various people can't make it. There's a couple weeks where I can't make it myself. So, I don't know how many weeks I'll be bowling or what it looks like, but I'm out to have a good time. I'm out to have fun. I'm not against house bowling. I'm against continually participating on only the house side of bowling, particularly when you have a long list of resume-like accomplishments on that level.
I get it.
So I'm going to enjoy my summer.
So
the haters are going to hate. Go ahead, Rob. Tell the people about the tournament series that you discovered in your own backyard.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was a King of the Hill that started up this last couple of weeks. It was actually how I uncovered it was the Agent Ong Open, and Carl was running a winner spot at the event, and I saw it on his Facebook post, and I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I looked into it, and it's a summer sport weekly tournament they run. It's at Let It Roll, which is a non-Bowlero center, which is always at this point probably a good thing at this point. And it's scratch, and it's on a sport. It's not a really hard sport, but it's on a sport shot, and you bowl 3 games, and they take top 16, and then you bowl 1 game, and they take half the field. They bowl 1 game, and they take half the field, and then they go to a final 4 for 1 game. So I decided to bowl. I feel good, healthy. My arm is feeling really good, and I just at this point trying to get my feet under me. And I bowled, and I bowled pretty well for considering I haven't really been bowling, and I just started practicing. 675. They used a 38-foot. I was using a non-urethane, one of the blue not urethane hammer ball that they all came out and was all remember the big hype about it. And I played right, and I had a really good look. First game in the top 16, I bowled 227, made the first cut, got to the top 8, and then I just bowled bad. I missed a couple spares, bowl 190, and then ended up missing it by like 20 or 30. The scores got high as kind of the good bowlers were left standing. The Kyle Kings and Matt Jones of the Arizona area, top amateurs in this area. Probably in the country too. You could probably say Matt and Kyle are for sure. And as soon as the field got narrower, like Dylan Taylor too is a really good bowler in the area. Those guys were left, so the scores went up, and I just couldn't hang. I got a little tired, but I'm not using that as an excuse. But yeah, excited about having that on a weekly basis for me to go practice bowl competitively. I was talking to Mike Hardesty about it, who I crossed with, who is also really good at a bowl in the area. You have to bowl these little events to kind of get momentum to bowl the big events, right? Like you need to like have these small wins, mentally be able to start throwing shots under pressure. Even a $30 or $40 King of the Hill, you do have those times in the tournament where you still have to throw the shots. Like there is a little bit of like competitiveness, right, and some pressure. So great. I love those type of events. I was in and out 7 o'clock, got home by 10. Can't complain. 25 minutes from me. So yeah, I'll be excited. I'll probably go bowl this week again. I practiced on Saturday. Went to Bowlero. Very interesting experience I had at Bowlero this Saturday at Via Linda. I went in there and they didn't have any bowling on, Mike. There was zero bowling on. It was right during the second show on Saturday, and when I asked the front desk to put it on, they kind of just was just like, all right, yeah, maybe we'll get to it, whatever. And I was like, well, you guys have CBS Sports, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. And they never ended up putting it on. So it's a weird thing for me with Bowlero owning the PBA, why Bowlero wouldn't put some kind of company announcement out to all the Bowleros in the whole country, Mike, and be like, hey, we own the PBA. We want to like support the PBA. They have all these shows running 6 hours of bowling. Every TV in our Bowlero bowling centers need to have bowling on. Mike, it's not like college football's on. It's not like there's NFL on. It's not like people are sitting there. I was watching every TV had a vintage Tom Brady, Peyton Manning game on from when Peyton Manning was on the Colts. So it's not like there was some like sporting event where people were like begging to have it. I could understand that point. When there's no sports on, you would think that bowling would be on, right? I'm even going to go a step further and say the Bowleros need to have the Bowl TV streamed to most of the TVs in their bowling centers. Like they need to like be able to promote and support Bowl TV as well as the PBA, right? And bowling in general. And I understand too, Saturday night, right? You're probably not going to have bowling on, but there are certain times when I do think bowling should be on in a Bowlero center. And Saturday, when there's no sports on, should have been one of them. And when I asked to put one TV on, when you have literally 40 lanes, like that, you could have made an accommodation to at least put bowling on maybe 3 of the TVs and not all of them. But you get what I'm saying. That was annoying to me. I was also losing money to the guy bowling left of me. He was drinking, and he was betting me every time I left the pocket 710 that I would not make it. He was giving me 100-1 odds. So I lost $3 because I left 3 710s and I couldn't make it. But I'll take those odds any day of the week. So fun experience for me. But that's my bowling. I feel good right now. I'm on 50-50 bowling Theo's CBE event, 10K. I'm still 50-50, and I'll give my reasons why. We're gonna have him on right now. I want to bring him on, but so that's my bowling review, Mike. It's good to be back.
My question is, how'd you feel?
Felt great. My back hurt more than my arm did. Okay. So that's where I'm at these days. My lower back hurts more than my arm does, which is a good thing. You know, as long as I keep getting stronger, legs, back, my weight down, my back will be fine. But the arm feels great. I'm finally able to not think about my arm and think about other things that I really need to be thinking about when you're bowling: timing, spare shooting, equipment choices, where to play and where to throw, like release, all of that. Finally, I feel like I'm finally getting to there, but it's probably going to be another few months before I'm really like 100%. So. Anyway, all right, Mike. Well, I wanted to bring Theo on. Theo is having his third annual CBE $10,000 cactus event on June 28th at Lakeview Lanes in, I believe that's Sun City, the retirement capital of the world. It's probably where I'm going to retire when I retire here in 10 years. So I'm going to bring Theo on. I want to talk to him about the event. He's been listening in the background. Theo, how's it going, man? What's good?
What's going on, man? Just trying to relax and recover from a long weekend of running a team tournament with Reggie.
Yeah, I saw that team tournament, man. I was, still kind of 50-50 on trying to bowl, but nobody's going to ask me at this point. So how'd that go? How many teams did you end up having?
Yeah, we ended up having 46 teams. So we got halfway full, but, I mean, it was our first time running it. So I think we had a lot of really good feedback. So it'll definitely grow. We're probably going to do like 2 of them a year. But yeah, everybody had a lot of fun. So
how many on the team?
It was 4-man teams. A little different for me since handicap was involved. So, I had to listen to those kind of, these guys are baggers type of questions. And I'm like, hey, like, you see the rules. If you don't like it, don't bowl. So it is what it is at the end of the day.
Handicap on what?
It was 90% of 860 for the team.
Okay, and what were you bowling on?
It was the modified house shot at Let It Roll, which might be as equivalent toughness to what Rob bowls on weekly at King of the Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, they hook a lot there.
Yeah, and the carry in that building is very tough too. I mean, we had a guy the Saturday afternoon squad shot 780, and then he came back today and shot like 630 and never missed a hole. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just asked because I believe that even if you're using handicap based off of like a house average, if you put something out there that's challenging, the handicap system works so much better. Like it's so much more fair because the value of a strike goes up exponentially. So yeah, that's cool though. That's good. I mean, that's a lot of entries, man. Shout to you guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Long weekend.
I bet. Sounds like you had a Randy Peterson type 6-hour weekend running tournaments as he was in the booth for 6 hours. I'm sure he was just as tired.
Well, I think what was more exhausting yesterday was how hot it was in that center. Man. It was ridiculous. I got home and I was like, I am wore out, and not even from running around. Just it was hot.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Phoenix area, you would think like as a business, that would be their first priority is keeping the bowling centers cool. I mean, really, like it's the worst thing ever bowling in this area, and the air conditioner is like subpar.
Yeah, they get pretty warm, and it's not even like it's one center that does it. I mean, it's just natural across all the centers in Arizona. It's just hot.
Yeah, it's crazy. So. It's the worst. Bowling is, I can't imagine bowling in that. But all right, Theo, well, we want to talk to you about your third annual, the CBE. So tell us about the event. Obviously, the weekend of the 28th to the 30th. How's it going? How's the pre-entries look? Give us the rundown on what's going on out there.
Yep. So after last year, I learned that I don't stress on the entry count this far in advance, if you want to say, even though we're really close. Because last year, I think I had like 30 entries 2 weeks before. And then we had over 100 unique entries and over 130 with the re-entries. So I don't stress about how many I have at what time because bowlers just procrastinate. So I had probably 15 guys today go, oh, yeah, I'm signing up. I'm like, well, can you tell me? Relieve some of my stress. But no, it's looking good though. It's going to be another good year. It is June 28th through the 30th. On Friday we have one squad at noon, and then Saturday is the long day where we have 3 squads, 7, 12:30, and 6 p.m. And then right after that last squad we have the Desperado, which we'll see if we can go 3 for 3 on having a roll off in the Desperado for the last spot. I seem to have that jinx on the Desperados.
So how many games is it a squad? It's 7, I believe, right? Or 8 or 6? It's 7.
It's 8 games. Yeah,
8 games.
And it's 8 games. It's on fresh every squad. And then off of each squad, we take the top 7 in each squad to go to the finals. The top 2 off each squad are seeds 1 through 8. Third and fourth off each squad are seeds 9 through 16. And then the rest go into the 17 through 28 spots. And then the top 4 from the Desperado round out the last 4 spots. And those top 8 get 2 byes on Sunday, and then 9 through 16 get 1 bye. So then we have 17 through 32 bowl the first round. And all day Sunday, it's all 3-game total pinfall matches.
Oh, like the Masters.
Yeah. I mean, the way I looked at it when I built this tournament was if you're going to win 10K, I want you to earn it. Nothing, you got to bowl some games.
Right.
So
that's I love that format.
Where's it at?
It's at Lakeview Lanes, like Rob said, in Sun City. And it'll be on another tough pattern. I talked to Mike Dermeyer, who created the pattern this year. And he said, if you find that one spot, you can score. But outside of that, it's going to be pretty tough. And he said he wasn't sure about the transition just because, he can't put enough games on it to see how they transition. So that'll be interesting to see where that, goes. But, I mean, we've given up on the concept of trying to shut out urethane because 2 years in a row, it's just the first 2 years we tried to shut it out and it didn't happen anyway. So it didn't.
I love the fact that you tried to shut out urethane.
Yeah, I mean the first year, John Janowitz created the pattern, and urethane was shut out on day 1 in qualifying, and then Darren Tang figured it out on Sunday and threw urethane all day and won. And then last year, Jacob threw urethane the whole tournament and whacked them and won. So it's just it's not possible, I guess.
So you just answered a question I had, which was past winners. So obviously, you're getting some strong pedigree at this tournament.
Yep. We've had Darren bowled the first year. He didn't bowl last year because he had an injury during the time that we had the tournament. Simo showed up the first year. Brianna's always here because she's local. Jacob was out here last year. I mean, we got, in the Wesley Lowe. We got a lot of locals. I'm still trying to draw some of the other guys. I mean, you'd think 10 grand would draw a little bit more from around, but I don't know.
Do you think when you have guys like Darren Tang and Jacob Buttriff win, it scares some people away?
Honestly, if you ask Rob, the pedigree of bowlers that we have in Arizona, they don't care. They want the competition. They come out and they're looking for it, because they want to be the one that knocks those guys out. So
they want
Mike. I care, Mike.
I appreciate that.
I care. I don't want to bowl against those guys, Mike.
Well, I mean, no. Listen, I see that. I see that on a regular basis. I personally know people who have said to me, "Oh no, I'm not bowling that. This guy's bowling that. He's gonna win." I'm like, well, I don't know. You don't know he's gonna win, but even if he does, so what? You can finish second. You still have a great day. He probably bowled really well, but it's just something that I think about.
I think that's a tough topic for a tournament director to put in a national title holder rule or something like that nature. Theo, have you thought ever in your history of running tournaments? Has it ever come across your mind to put that rule?
Not a single time. Not in my open, my seniors, nothing. The only time I have any kind of PBA or PWBA rule is when I do doubles or team, and it's just a cap on how many of those players you can have on the team. Just because, obviously we have Cortez Shank and Brianna in town. I don't want those two pairing up for a doubles event, because then that might be well, I'm not going to go bowl. Those two are definitely going to dominate. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean, I have a really, really hard time punishing somebody because they put in the work, they put in the time, and this is what they do for a living.
Especially now, man, somebody like you mentioned, Cortez, that's somebody who needs events like yours to allow him to bowl so that, so that he can continue to try and take his shot, at the higher levels. And without that, who knows where people would be. So, yeah, I like it. I like it.
And you know what? Let's be honest, on the national tour, whether it's the men's or the women's, Those guys aren't out there making a killing. Like you're gonna tell I'm supposed to tell somebody that they can't bowl a local tournament for, our monthly ones are what, like $500-600 to win. You're gonna tell me that I can't bowl because I'm a tour title holder for this measly little bit of money? Like, come on. I mean, even with the big tournament though, like this is what those guys work for. This is how they, put food on their table. I'm not going to tell them, oh, hey, sorry, you can't bowl. If you want that, there are tournaments out there that exclude those members. I'm not going to be one of them.
Okay. Anything else going on for the weekend? Any sweepers or action or anything of that nature?
I mean, the schedule is pretty jam-packed because on Friday night we usually do a pro-am now. So there's not really a lot of time for any sweepers, any of that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of qualifying. It's a very long weekend for me, but I have a good time.
And who bowls the pro-am? Like local league bowlers come in?
Yeah, so what Mike Dermeyer, the center manager, does is he gets a lot of his local members of the center, and he brings them in and lets them bowl with the pros that I supply him with, and he doesn't charge them. It's just more of an appreciation thing to the members of the center of, hey, thanks for giving us your center for the whole weekend. Like, thank you, and come out and bowl with these professionals. And last year we had bowling balls that we gave away and stuff, so they had a really, really good time.
Nice. That's
Theo,
awesome.
has anybody requested for me to bowl the pro-am as a pro because of us sweep the rack?
No comment.
All right. Well, hey, I'm just letting you know right now. I'm not bowling. All right. That's Friday night. Like I got things going on. I just was wondering maybe someone requested me.
Hey,
anyway,
Rob, there was a big mic chant. There was a big
I
mic
didn't hear
chant
that
at one point this weekend. Yeah, you didn't hear it on TV, but
I didn't hear that.
there was a big
Theo,
mic chant this weekend. So I'm just saying.
before we let you go, let us know how much is the entry.
Yeah, how much?
Yep. So it's 280 entry. Re-entries are 175. The Desperado's 100. And like I said, it's 10 grand on top guaranteed. So that doesn't happen though without our sponsors. I got to definitely thank all of them.
Sure.
Chuck Lucas with Chuck's Painting. He does all of our like garage floors, epoxy, interior, exterior painting. He's awesome. He did my garage, did a great job. Apparel EFX, the brands of Brunswick. We also have Ramsey Auto, which is one of our local guys that bowls some of my leagues, Nick Cianciola. Great guy. And then also Carl Long partners with me. And then I also partner with John Verbal with the Tat Desert Southwest. He gives me a bunch of entries to raffle off to help boost my prize fund. And then I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I like it though. The tournaments all teaming up. The Tat, the Agent on Open, CBE. I feel like that's really what bowling needs in every area. You need a tournament, kind of like all of you guys to come together to give bowling for the rest of us who look for tournaments to bowl. And I wish that was like this in every city. And I'm glad to be bowling in this area now with Theo's tournaments, man. I always said it since day one I walked in. Man, if it wasn't for Theo, man, there wouldn't be a whole lot to bowl every month in this area. I'd be stuck bowling handicap, no tap tournaments like you were if you were to live in Vegas, which is crazy to me because Vegas you would think would be the capital of the world when it comes to scratch bowling. And it's the actually probably worst area to live in if you want to bowl scratch. So I appreciate it to Theo, man, for giving everybody around this area something to bowl. I know Greg Tack does it in Big Mike's area. You need people like Theo, tournament proprietors and directors to do that. So Theo, where can I find more, information on your tournament? Where could I go to reach out to you if I want to bowl? How do I get in touch with you?
Yep. The easiest way is get on our Facebook page, Complete Bowling Events. I post everything on there. Hopefully it doesn't annoy people too much, but it's the best way to get information out is on the CBE Facebook page. If you want to email me also, it's just theo.cbedirector@outlook.com. You can shoot me an email and I'll respond, get entries signed up that way. However, or I'll even give information on what tournaments we have coming up. And then, but yeah, just go on the CBE Facebook page. You can direct message me or use my email and I'll let you know what squads are available. Which right now, like I said, people procrastinate, so all squads have some space on them. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be another good year.
Cool. Well, we appreciate it, Theo. Like I said before, man, we love your tournaments. If you haven't, you live around this area, people, if you're in driving distance, I'm talking like even like 400 or 500 mile radius, like, and you don't want to this is a tournament, 10K, man, shoot up and come out and support it. But Theo, man, we appreciate the time, dude. Seriously. Thanks for coming on. We love supporting tournaments, tournament events like yourself. So, take care, man. And I'll maybe see you. I will maybe see you. Still,
you got to get out there.
Thanks for everything you do for bowling, man. I say the same about Greg and Dougie and other people. Just without people out there putting in the work, to run these type of events, the bowlers don't have something to bowl. So shout to you guys for doing your thing, man.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys for having me on again. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, of course.
Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come on, you come on. You just tell Rob. We're good.
Yeah,
hey,
for sure.
Rob just hit me up, man. I'm always good.
All right, man. Later, guys.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
Oh, I should have asked him. I'll check. Yeah, will it be live streamed? Damn it, Scott. I know I didn't ask him. I should have asked him. Text him.
I'll send him a message right now. Yeah.
Ask him it's gonna be live streamed. Tell him come in the chat and share that. Joint.
There's another reason why I might not bowl either. I'm going to Vegas for like 5 days in the weekend before. I have to see how I do financially
We don't need to wait. You don't need to give us excuses, Hoss.
I'm giving you excuses.
You're good with us. You're good with us around here. If you don't want to bowl, you don't bowl. You don't need to give an excuse, Hoss.
Well, we'll see. I'll see how I feel and if I want to, waste the money at this point. But you never know. Like he says, if you find something, you could, 8 games. I want to
see you bowl Darren Tang. And I want to see him use the IQ 78. I want to see you use the reactive and give him the business when you take him down and say, you ain't beating me with no hard urethane, Hoss. Okay.
Oh, God forbid someone goes throws 2 Brooklyns to put a 4-bagger against me. I might lose my shit. Again, poor Bill. We'll get into that match, but let's get into it, Mike, because I don't want to be here 2 hours.
You want to talk about the chanting first?
Yeah, what's up with the chanting? Like, it was 6 hours. I didn't watch every minute of the shows this weekend. Okay, it was a lot of bowling on the last 2 days. Okay, I did watch Bill. I watched pretty much every shot he threw, so I did watch. I was able to get a chance. Okay, give me the backstory, Mike. What do we not know? What do the people at home not know about the chanting? Like, what was up with the chanting?
I saw comments, people saying it's forced. It's not forced. They're wrong about that. That's number one. Number two, it was actually a group of guys that were there for a bachelor party.
Wait, back up here. So a group of guys who were having a bachelor party decided to go to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to watch the PBA Tour Finals as a bachelor party.
Yeah, and
okay.
I think out of a group of 6, 4 of them were bowlers. The other 2 were not. And I asked them, I said, Rob, you know me. So I was a little suspect. I was like, fellas, tell me you're doing something else for the bachelor party too. And they were like, nah, this is it. Like, PBA Tour Finals for the weekend. We're here today. We'll be here tomorrow. We're having a good time. We're having drinks. They said they were going to dinner and whatever. But there's a casino literally like right down the street from this bowling center, Steel City Brews and Bowls. And let me say for a second, let me stop for 1 second and just say, bravo to Steel City Brews and Bowls for the event that they put on. Lee and Chris Sassant, really just awesome event. I had an amazing time. The place is great. Nice little homely bowling center. Nice little pub in the back. They actually had their own beer called Swing Juice. and I was able to pick some up to bring home. So yeah, it was just a really cool weekend. The crowd seemed really into it, and everybody was having a really good time. Then there was the bachelor party there, and these guys were cheering, and they had shirts on and stuff. So I went up to them, and you know me, I'm very friendly. Like I talked to everybody, and I was like, I asked them, I said, guys, what's the word? Like, what's the deal with the chants? Like, what are we doing over here? What do we got going on over here? Because I didn't know if they were like trying to like do the Bayside thing. Like sometimes I expect the answer to that to be like, oh yeah, like we saw Bayside and like we wanted to do it too. So in fact, there was a guy dressed as a hot dog all weekend. I don't know if anybody caught him on TV or
Yeah, we
not.
saw him.
But there was a guy dressed as a hot dog, and I asked him, I'll get back to the bachelor party in a minute. I asked the guy dressed as the hot dog, bro, what's the story behind dressing like the hot dog? And I thought he was going to say, oh, nod to Bayside. Like, I see they get dressed up. I thought I'd do the same thing. Nah, my man said, well, I bought this a couple months ago, and I never had an excuse to wear it. And I got drunk the other night, and I asked Lee, is it cool if I wear this for the show? And he said, yeah. And I was like, that's it. I'm going to wear it. I was like, that's some amazing background right there. So back to the bachelor party, I go up to him like, fellas, what's the word? I'm like, what's with the chants? What are we doing? Where, what's the deal here? They're like, oh, we're a bachelor party. And I'm like, get out of here. A bachelor party?
Yeah.
And they're like, yep, here's the bachelor right here. Introduced them. I got introduced to everybody. There were 6 guys. And I'm like, fellas, all right, so you're here now. What else are we doing for the bachelor party? Like, what else is on the bachelor party slate here? And they were like, nope, this is it. PBA Tour Finals, Steel City Bowls and Brews. I'm like, all right, okay. So, we went back and forth for a little bit. And then, in true sweep the rack and big Mike style, I told them, commercial break, come on in, bring everybody into the bar. We're gonna do a little shot for the groom. We're gonna, I actually, Bill was there with us. I had Bill give the groom some marital advice. So marital advice from a PBA professional. Okay. And, we generally chatted it up. I mean, honestly, we had a really good time. Like we talked a little bowling, we chatted it up. I told them about the podcast. Oh my God. They were like, they were over the moon about it, bro. It was Big Mike. They were doing a Big Mike chant every time I walked out of the bar back to my seat. I mean, so now with all that said, I got much love for the chanters, as you can see. Okay. Rob does not. But with that said, I will, I thought about something this weekend, and my thought is this. If any bowling center or bowling fans are going to go in that direction of the chants, the signs, the outfits, etc., I think pre-planned creativity is a must.
I agree.
I think you got to sit down weeks beforehand, and the people at Bayside do this, for the record. Like, they prepare for months for the PBA Tour to come, okay? But you got to sit down for at least a couple weeks beforehand and come up with some really good material. Whether that means doing your research on the bowlers or because I know a lot of people were hating on the chant, and I hear it for 6 hours. I get it. I was there. I was live. Okay, I was in the bowling center, so I get it. Believe me. Okay. I just think that, yeah, you gotta come with a little more creativity. But there were some chants and things that I liked, that I thought were good, that I thought were funny. Like, there was one point where they started to use Buttriff's name in an Eagles base chant because he was wearing the Dallas Cowboys jersey. So I like that. That shows like creativity.
Well, that was the one I laughed at. I remember I talked about the one chant I laughed when they were chanting Eagles because of his Cowboys. Like, I thought that was really funny. Like, but they didn't do a lot of that.
Like the Belmo chant, I thought was cool. Had like the little vibe.
Here's the thing is, Mike, let me, just as a fan watching, right? okay, if you watch a soccer game or even you watch some of these dart videos, right? These European dart videos, the chanting is on a whole nother level when it comes to the chants, right? Like the Europeans have it down for a English for a football league, right? And I'm calling football because that's what it is across the world. Uh, so you like the passion and the booze and those guys are a whole nother level of chant, right? I think it didn't help them that it was 6 hours of bowling. I thought if it was an hour to 2 hour show, it wouldn't have been a huge deal. But when you have 6 hours of it and you're watching a lot of it, it kind of you got a little bit tired of it. I'm not gonna lie. Like you were just like, oh, this is rude. And it's just like, okay, like I get it. You just kind of like all of a sudden you start to get tired of it. You don't want to hear. You want to hear
Right.
something different, right?
Different, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be varied. It's got to be creative.
Let me talk though through like now that I know the context of the chanting. I think that it's amazing that there's a bachelor party that went to a PBA Tour event, right? Like that's incredible. If there was
Tell me we don't need more of that.
We do. If there was 15, 20 bachelor and bachelorette parties going to these bowling events, and I'm not talking for like the serious bowling events, right? Like I'm talking like for the Baysides, the league events, maybe some of the, the off tour events, right? I think that would be amazing. It's incredible. I don't know about like, the serious major type events. I still think you have to keep that a little bit separate from the hot dog costumes and the crazy chants. I think there's got to be some kind of tradition a little bit when it comes to like the U.S. Open and Masters of events. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I thought Steel City Bowls and Brews did a great job. I thought the crowd brought it. I thought they provided a good environment for the players. And
it looked fun. It looked great,
Yeah, and I had a great time. I mean, despite the fact that things didn't go our way,
God, what am I going to do with Bill? What are we going to do with my guy? What are we going to do with him? But all right, let's talk a little bit about bowling.
Yeah, all right, that's a good transition actually to the actual bowling, right? So let's start with. Now, I will say before we start this conversation as well that I did not watch the second show today.
Okay.
Because I was, I left right after we were done, and I had to shoot down to my mom's and pick the kids up. Then I had to get back. It was like a 2.5 hour ride home total. And then I got home. I wanted to get a bite to eat, and we started this podcast right after. So I did watch the final, but I didn't watch the step ladder before. So you're gonna have to fill me in on that if you saw it.
I did see it, but it's hard because there was so much bowling, and we're not going to talk through every match, right? We'd be here for 3 hours.
All right, so quickly, let's go back to yesterday and just quickly review the two group qualifyings. As it turned out, that opened by Bill in the 10th, that gave Marshall Kent the opportunity to then earn the top seed, right? Go on to that final match and earn the top seed. Turned out to be more consequential than we probably thought at that time.
Yeah, because
that was
lane,
tough
right?
for me.
Finishing on the lane, right? Finishing on the right lane compared to finishing on the left lane.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to. Yes, no doubt. I mean, not only in the match itself, but then in the roll-off too. So that turned out to be a huge deciding factor, right?
100%.
That's kind of why I wanted to mention that. I also wanted to mention it, bring it up, because I took a bath gambling on bowling this weekend. And one of my losses was a $65 basically to win, I think, $300 pretty much, bet on Bill to win the 2-game total qualifying. So that was a tough one for me too. So then you go to the next qualifying, okay, and not really surprised there. Not really surprised at what took place there. I sort of expected Belmo to be the top qualifier there, and that's kind of how it played out.
Yeah, it really like at a high level, right? Like it really was a tale of two lanes. If I was gonna probably what I'm gonna name the podcast on
Well,
Spotify.
why did Simo win?
Why did he win?
Yeah.
Uh, he won because one, he was able to uh, play the left lane better than everybody else.
Okay, I'm going to say it in a different way.
Okay,
He was the only player that could consistently figure out how to strike on both lanes.
yeah, the right lane was a very to me an easy lane if you were using urethane, and I do need to
It was
talk.
easy to get to the pocket. It was easy to get to the pocket, but
Whoa.
it wasn't that easy to carry.
So I really want to question EJ Tackett's decision not to throw some kind of urethane on the right lane.
He didn't strike
Uh,
on the right lane the whole game.
he didn't, and I feel like he still had an opportunity to come back the next day and throw something different on the right lane, and he didn't. And that's what kind of like I would love to ask him. I would love to ask him and be like, you didn't have a look on the first day. Why wouldn't you try to throw something weaker? You see everybody else throwing urethane on the right lane that have your rev rate, or even you have a higher rev rate than most, if not anybody on the show. And Stefan's saying in the chat because the tanks are garbage. I mean, they're not as good as the black urethane, and they're not as good as the 78, right? That's for sure. But I think EJ is good enough to be able to throw that red tank and be able to manipulate it so that he could play the right lane. I don't know what he saw in practice. Obviously, we don't get to see that. I don't know what his discussions are with his ball reps. Obviously, we don't get to see that. But I would love to have been there watching him practice. I don't know if you got a chance to see him in practice. If he was trying to throw urethane on that right lane, maybe you can give us a little bit of behind the scenes, Mike. Were you able to watch him in practice at all?
No, I did. I did watch practice, and he did not throw anything but that.
The
I think it
Venom,
was
the
the Venom, EJ Venom that he was
EJX, that
throwing.
new one, yeah, the limited edition one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's my first question. So yeah, it was a tale of two lanes, Mike. The left lane was super tricky, and I thought Bill going into today's ladder was going to absolutely have a great day because Bill switched from an Envy Tour to a Theorem on the left lane, and that Theorem looked so much better for him on the left lane as the transition happened yesterday. Then the Envy Tour looked so bad for him as the transition happened when he bowled his 2-game match, right? He lost his reaction on that left lane. And I mean, maybe you could talk about it. I know you probably, if you went to dinner with Bill last night, like, did he have any thoughts or
well, I
like,
can tell you that he knew he was switching to that Theorem before we even sat down to dinner after the show. So yeah,
Gotcha.
he clearly knew that that's what the issue was. He thought that the shot in the 10th in the qualifying, in the 2-game qualifying, he thought that was a good shot. He felt good about it when it was going down the lane. But yeah, other than that, no, not really. There wasn't too much bowling talk going on, other than just those few comments. But yeah, so okay, so I guess transition over to the step ladders today now, right? Because there really wasn't too much to discuss from that other 2-game qualifying, right? I mean, it was definitely a stronger group of the 4 players, I think, from top to bottom. But yeah, it was kind of routine. The first one, again, the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I felt like it had an impact going into today. So you get to the step ladder today, and you had EJ against Buttriff in the first game. I did get a chance to watch practice, Rob, and I got to say, like, when you can stand there and you can actually watch them throw the ball down the lane and see what kind of reaction they have and see how many different balls they're trying and what they're doing, it really makes it easier to kind of see what's going on and who might have the advantage. So I noticed in practice that EJ didn't really have that great of a look on the right lane, and Buttriff had a dead locked in look on the right lane, and his look with reactive looked pretty good on the left lane. So I took him for $25 straight to win the match. And he was able to win the match despite leaving a 3-7 in the middle of the game on that right lane that I thought he was so locked in on. He was able to win the match mainly because EJ couldn't get the ball to strike on the right lane.
Which goes back to my original point about him not. I don't know why he stayed with that ball for 2 days straight.
Yeah, and also your point about it being a tale of two lanes, right? Like EJ had the left lane nut, and then he had nothing on the right lane,
which was opposite of everybody else.
Right, and then Bill came in the next game against Buttriff, and I felt very confident that Bill was going to win the game, but I also felt confident that it was going to be under because I felt that it was tough to strike, and I felt that Buttriff's look was going to go through a transition, and I wasn't able to get the bet in time, and that actually saved me money. So because it did go over by a few pins. Because Bill bowled a tremendous game, was able to use a decent break in the middle of a string to kind of keep things going. And while Buttriff did struggle and did hit some transition and only shot, I think, 193, Bill, was able to put up a big number that game. So Bill wins there. To me, other than Simo, that was the only game today where at least one player had both lanes completely figured out. Like in that game that Bill bowled, he pretty much had both lanes completely figured out during that string. Didn't see that too much today. So Bill goes on to bowl Marshall Kent. I took Bill for I think $65 or something, $60 to win 2-0.
I know you like betting against Marshall. I know that's your and he's bowling Bill. Forget it.
I mean, tell me I wasn't right. I was right. The result doesn't tell the whole story of this game, this match.
The same thing when he bowled him today.
It was two crossovers.
Yeah, but Bill.
I mean, it was two crossovers. Like, I listen. I mean,
no.
They were poor shots too. I'm just gonna say
Bill had so many. Shots. Bill had so many chances, and I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about yesterday.
I know, but
Bill had so many chances today to win. I mean, Bill gave away the match today. He gave it away, and he'll be the first to tell you that. I know he would be. Bill gave it away. Bill made how many bad shots did Bill throw in the last half of today's match to get into the? He threw how many bad shots on the left lane on strike? How many bad? And then he goes in a 2-frame roll off, and he leads with a washout on his good lane. He didn't execute, and it had nothing to do with Marshall's.
In the washout, he didn't execute. You're right, but in that second game of that 2-game match, Bill bowled the better game. Are
you talking about today, or are you talking about yesterday?
I'm talking about today.
Today, no. The second half of the game, Bill did not throw.
I disagree with you on that one.
How many times did he fall off the shot?
Marshall barely executed at all. He crossed over twice. The ball never even got right of the head pin.
Yeah, but Marshall executed when it came. Marshall executed when it mattered down the stretch. He did
on the right lane.
What do you mean the left lane? He absolutely nutted it in the 2-frame roll off. No,
not talking about that. I'm talking about game 2.
Game 2, I'm trying to remember exactly what he did in game 2, but he went Brooklyn twice on game 2, right? On the left lane.
Yeah.
But he did end up throwing really one good one though. I remember when he started to loft it. When he on the left lane.
Okay. When he lofted it, yeah. Okay, I'll give
a couple of good ones when he lofted it. But look, Bill had his opportunity to win that match. He was up 1-0. He was up, that whole game he was up 10, 15 pins. And he was good. You got to the left lane, and he just couldn't double on the left lane. So I mean, Bill had his opportunities. He had so many opportunities to win that match, and he just kept giving it away. Yeah, and then the baby split, and then he misses it. So it's just like, dude, like you make that baby split, and you still probably win, honestly. So it's just, it's disappointing. Obviously, I feel like Bill has been like getting these Brooklyns thrown against him on TV like every match now he bowls. You've been there live for 2 of them too, so I can't imagine.
If you go back to last year, you had the trip 6 from Buttriff.
Oh, you got to stop going watching.
We were at that one too.
It's the black cloud, Bill.
I do feel like the black cloud. I do.
Every time you go there, Bill's getting Brooklyn's thrown against him. What a crazy event. But all right,
Okay.
let's talk about the
Go to the
finals.
second step ladder.
Yeah.
Go to the second step ladder. Did you see it or did you watch
I did.
it or what?
I did, but I'd have to go through the matches because I was in and out. Like I was watching it on my phone as I was like literally running errands.
Simo was what? The 2 seed?
Simo was the 2 seed.
So
Kyle
who won the
Troop,
first match?
Kyle Troop had the front like 7 or 8 the first game
Okay.
against Packy. Kyle came out really, really hot. And then he ended up bowling Simo, Kyle, right? Bowled Simo. And that match was kind of back and forth until I don't really know what happened in the middle of that match. I do know that Simo ended up being up a little bit and then just kind of shut Kyle out.
Okay.
In the 10th. And then the Simo Belmo match. I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened because I'm like, there was so much bowling.
I saw on Twitter, it seemed like Simo put up a big number that game.
He did. It was a tough match, but because they did go into a 2-frame roll off.
Okay.
Belmo won the second game. Simo won the first game. Belmo looked really, really good, Mike, at the end of the second game. And I would have swore that Belmo was going to like win that 2-frame roll off. And then Belmo got up in the first shot, I believe, in the 2-frame roll off, and he went dead through the face and split. He big forward, I believe. Okay. And that gave Simo, I think, struck and then do the first one to, I think, kind of lock him out, I believe. But Simo was throwing the ball so good, Mike. Like you could just tell, like his confidence and his execution was on point. I know he felt good. He even said it, I think, during the final match when he was bowling Marshall. He made a comment like, yeah, I'm really feeling really good right now. I think he was talking to his ball rep. So I was really even surprised that even went to a two game roll off or 2-frame roll off. I had money on Simo and I took the -1.5. I thought Simo was going to run Marshall over. So I lost on that bet. But Simo, obviously ends up going to the 2-frame roll off, and Marshall, hurt his thumb, and all of a sudden the thumb became an issue. And then Marshall gets up in the first shot in the roll off, and he misses a 10-pin, Mike. And I don't know if it was excuse for his thumb or if it was really hurting him. But then he gets up and he throws 3 great shots, and the next shot to strike out, right, to force Simo essentially to get a 39 in a 2-frame roll off. And Simo does what Simo does, Mike. Gets up, throws a really good shot, leaves a 10, almost misses the 10, right? I mean, Mike, did your heart drop when you saw that like spare ball get to that 10? I thought he missed it. I really did.
I didn't. I really didn't think he missed it. I didn't realize it was as close as it was until it actually hit the pin. Can we talk for a second about Simo's switch to the urethane on the left lane?
What a ballsy
I mean,
move.
is this guy an absolute sicko or what?
Nobody threw urethane on the left lane, Mike.
Rob, there was not a single shot with urethane thrown on that left lane all weekend, bro.
All weekend. And he makes
all weekend. Switch and in the penultimate position to earn the W, this sicko gets up and switches to urethane, son, and nuts it, and nuts it for the cheddar, bro.
Dude,
and I know it's only $30,000. I get you.
What do you mean only $30,000?
Well, I mean it wasn't $100,000.
But it's a title too, isn't it?
It is a title. That's what I was going to say. It is a title. It is a title.
I mean, this guy
is just he's just a sicko, bro.
Dude, the shot he threw with that urethane on that left lane. Was like a shot for the ages. I'll remember that shot for a long time. And I'm not being over dramatic either. Like he literally threw it in practice or the game before because he was trying to find it. He looked good. He threw a strike, and even Dave Ryan, right? Was it Dave Ryan who was the commentator? Even he said wow, that looked really good, the urethane on the left lane. And I'm like, no, there's no way he's switching to this in 2-frame roll-off.
When he picked that ball up on the left lane, I thought to myself, what is this silly goose doing? What is he doing, son?
Yeah.
And
I want to read a
Nut
comment.
City,
Patrick
bro.
D, did you see the replay of Simo's 10-pin? It was close. It was close. Mike is like, oh, it wasn't close. It was close. It was skinny jeans. If Rob Stone was commenting, he would have said skinny jeans. He would have been all up on that comment. Robert Hamilton, Simo doing Simo things, man. I know, dude. It's just unbelievable what that kid could do. To anybody else, that would be a psycho behavior. I wouldn't do that. There's no chance. There is no chance. I would have stayed with that attention star. I would have tried to make it work, right? Like you've been using it all like weekend. It's just crazy. And he just has the balls. So is this Uli Boy? I think this might be my Oogie Boogie troll on Twitter. Dude is a really good actor. Then he was jamming his thumb into the hole and groaning sometimes. I mean, I don't want to call him an actor, but I mean, he missed the 10-pin and all of a sudden. No, like when he missed the 10-pin, all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God, like it's hurting. And then he gets up and he throws 3 in the 10th. It was like it wasn't even bothering him anymore. So I don't know. That was a weird kind of little bit of a weird part of the show. But anyway, so Simo then gets up and what does he do in the fill ball, Mike? I mean, it was a no doubter. It was a no doubter fill ball in the strike in the 10th to win. And it just didn't seem like he didn't even get too emotional. Like it was just like he expected the win. Like you said,
I was gonna say, I liked his vibe on this show.
Oh yeah, got a haircut.
I liked his vibe a lot. Like
haircut.
He was cool, calm, collected, entertaining, still fiery. Still fiery a bit. There were some comments. There was some, a little bit of fiery. Then when he won, nice composure. Mentioned the sponsors. Professional. I think we're
high-fiving.
I think we might be seeing the maturation process. I think we might be seeing a true professional being born here.
I hope you're wrong. I love the immature, crazy Simon.
No, not to say that he's still not going to have that fiery side.
Yeah.
But just knowing when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
I agree. I mean, I think that was the beauty of P. Weber, right? The beauty of P. Weber. I mean, I'm talking like prime P. Weber. I'm not talking like late career P. Weber. When P. Weber was prime P. Weber, I think Pete was able to have a good way of managing his emotions with his ability to execute on the shows, right? Pete he chose his spots very well, and he knew when it was time to go to Pete mode, right? And he knew when it was time not to. I think if Simo could find, like you said, that really happy medium between the fiery side and the professional side of him, he will be very, very, very hard to beat. And he's still very young compared to a lot of the other pros out there. And he has so much talent. It's disgusting. So it'll be very good. I still think a rivalry between the EJ, Simo, and Kyle Troop, I think, right? We're going to see a lot more of these three in the next 5 years bowling against each other. So Simo, obviously, this one, he gets the win. Amazing performance. Look great all weekend. Yeah, and now we're done with the PBA for a while, Mike.
We are. That's the sad news. But all right, let's give the people what they want to hear, Rob.
All right, let's do it. Doreen 10 says, still like Simo being a villain, though. I think that's Simo being Simo, Jimmy. I think Simo isn't really so much of a villain as just like more of him being himself. And he's just very, very love it or hate it type of personality on the show. That's just my opinion. Henry wants to know which of the big 4 or 5 have biggest risk of injury. I think once you start getting after 40, this is when you start getting the really, really higher risk of getting injured. We still don't know what two-handed bowling is going to do to the body after a certain age. I think Belmo is going to be he's going to be charting a lot of territory that nobody's seen before. And I don't want to hear about Walter Ray because Walter Ray bowled his whole career as a one-arm bowler. So I don't think we've seen somebody bowl into their 40s and 50s and 60s who's been bowling two-handed their whole life. So it'll be interesting to see how a 60-year-old two-hander who's been bowling since they were a kid two-handed. We don't know. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch. Yeah, and Sarah says about we didn't get to PWBA talk because we talked to Theo. We do have
Lauren Pate. Shout to Lauren Pate, first-time titleist.
We do, and real quick, Mike, because I was going to talk about this in my. Actually, let's do worst of the week, and then we'll get into our closing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Sarah, you might want to stick around for my closing arguments if you're interested in PWBA. I got some interesting news. All right, let me go first here, real quick, Mike. We all know how much of a shit show it is online selling bowling balls. Okay. We all know if you're on the used bowling ball marketplaces, it's full of debauchery, scams, people stealing money, selling bowling balls. If he oversees balls for 4 times what it's worth, all kinds of shit. But a very interesting used or new ball, I should say, post came on the market, I believe on some kind of eBay or could have been Craigslist, whatever it was, which got a lot of publicity on at least the bowling media platforms. I saw it on Bowler's Mart. I saw it on Savage Bowling Memes. It was for an original undrilled new Quantum Raven bowling ball, which was a really great bowling ball back in the day. And you don't get to see those come on the market a lot, right? A lot of rarity, right? The gentleman was selling this ball for $12,000. Okay? Dude, whoever this is selling this for $12,000 has watched way too much television, way too much Pawn Stars, way too much King of Collectibles. You've seen that on Netflix, right? Some probably non-bowler who pulled this Raven out of their grandpa's attic that's undrilled and was just like, oh my God, this could be worth $12,000. And then had the balls to post it and then just got obliterated online from people like laughing them out of the building. So, I don't know. That's my worst of the week. Selling any bowling ball for $12,000, Mike.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. There isn't a bowling ball out there that's worth $12,000, Mike. I don't care if you have a signed ball from the top 50 greatest bowlers of all time. Like, it's not going to be worth $12,000.
Worst of the week. I'm coming at the big dogs lately. Storm Bowling. Evil Empire. Get my worst of the week here. The reason I'm giving Storm Bowling worst of the week is because they did something cool for Bowl Expo. Okay. And they partnered with UTOG Brewing Company. They partnered with a brewer to brew a beer for Bowl Expo. And the beer on the can, it has a pin, graphic with pins on it, and it has the Storm Lightning Bolt. Guess what the name of the beer is, though?
I know, so I'm not going to give it away. So go ahead. Let the people know what it is. The name of
the beer is House Shot. Okay? And the last thing we need is more House Shot in any way, shape, or form, including a beer. Okay? And the tagline here is easy drinking ale. Ha, ha, ha. Get it?
Got it. That's what Steve. All right, Mike.
It's my worst of the week. All right, final thoughts, Rob. Final thoughts. I mean, you said my final thought. My final thought is melancholy. Melancholy because the PBA season is over, bro.
It is.
The PBA season is over. We only got the Lucy doubles and
Lucky Larson,
the
right?
league, and I got news for you. Our boy ain't bowling in either. Any of the above.
It's not bowling the
He
mixed
ain't bowling
doubles.
the Lucy. No.
Really? Did he say why?
Shannon's still out.
Can't find another partner, or he's just very committed. Not committed.
Yeah, I don't.
Sure, he could
Yeah,
find a partner.
I think there's some loyalty there. I think there's some loyalty there and some hope that she'll be back. But our boy ain't bowling any of the above. So yeah, we're done there. But yeah, generally the bowling season's over, man. It's sad we won't be back up until January, and God knows what'll happen between now and then. I mean, there's always news going on in the bowling community, but yeah, that's kind of my final thought. I had a great time this weekend. Also, want to give another shout out to Steel City Bowls and Brews. Nice job, guys. Really great place, great atmosphere. Loved it.
Yeah, if you're in the downtown Bethlehem, Pennsylvania area, go support those guys. If you're a bowler,
Absolutely.
Go to their bar, go drink some of their local craft beer. I love places like that support bowling, and they're in the area looking for just go have a family night out, or you have a date, or you want to go get out with a significant other. Go have some beer, drink, bowl a little bit, and support them. Honestly, and tell them if you see them, tell them if they're there or whoever the manager, say, hey, I saw you guys supporting bowling, and I'm here to support you guys. Let them know that that's paying dividends. They probably people like proprietors and business owners. They love to hear that efforts like them supporting the PBA, like doing things like that, is actually bringing them business. They love hearing that. So I would do that if you were in that area. Go check them out.
All right, Rob. Final thoughts.
Yeah. So I have a guest plan to come on Thursday, a first-time guest, and I'm hoping things work out. She is a PWBA, well, not really PWBA, but she is the current Queens champion. Jillian Martin is coming on this Thursday. We are going to do the show at 8:30 Eastern, so 5:30 my time, 8:30 Eastern. I will put out some social media the next couple days in regards to it, so put it on your calendars. I'm really excited to interview Jillian, because she's a phenom, right? And she's got so much bowling in her, right, in her blood, and she's so good at it. And I just want to get a lot of info on how she started and when she, to do a sweep the rack interview, right, and how we do it. So yeah, she's.
I want to know, is she a Swiftie or not a Swiftie?
Is that where you're gonna go?
What do you think?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say no because I think it's too soft for her. She seems like she might be listening to some hardcore rap on the way to the bowl, getting hype. You know what I'm saying? So
maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen for the people. So definitely tune in. Set a reminder for that. Rob, the people should check us out on social media. We're always active on there. I'm at the 215 on X. You are at Brooklyn Rob 11. The people can email us, sweeptherack@gmail. So reach out, email us, let us know what's good. Rob, we are. We'll talk more about that on Thursday as we're wrapping up. But I want to give one more shout. I forgot one more shout, and you brought this up before too. Big shout to all the people that came up and introduced themselves this weekend. Big shout to all the people that I walked by, that I ran into, that were like, Big Mike. And I don't even know who these people are.
Love it. It's my
favorite.
But
I give them a big dap, and I say, yo, thanks for the support. Appreciate it. A few of them I was able to have some conversations with. A few of them I was able to buy a drink and hang out a little bit. I definitely wasn't drinking today after last night, but yesterday, yeah, we were definitely letting some drinks flow. But I had a wonderful time, and we truly appreciate all the support you guys give us. There's nothing cooler than when I'm out at a bowling event and somebody who I do not know comes up to me and is like, Big Mike, sweep the rack.
Love what you guys do.
That's
love
it.
that.
Love what you guys do. Loyal listener, they have many ways of saying it, and I always say the same thing. Thanks for your support. And we truly mean that. We truly appreciate it. I say it all the time. I can't believe anybody listens to any of our nonsense. So to think that there's people out there who genuinely listen all the time and enjoy it enough to reach out to us means a lot. So thanks again. Appreciate it, Rob.
Real quick. Yes, complete bowling events. It will be, the Cactus event will be on Bowl Stream TV. And I would imagine you're going to see Emil there, who was there last year. So if you're planning on bowling the complete bowling events, shouts to Theo. It will be streamed. It's 10K, June 28th to June 30th. Thanks, Theo, for coming on. We appreciate everybody for chatting with us. Bowling is going to be going on a little bit of a break. So, we will talk to everybody this Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We hopefully will have Jillian for you guys. I'll keep you guys updated on our Facebook, Twitter, and whatever accounts else I run at this point.
Peace, everybody. See you Thursday.
Later, everyone.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.